Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call to order the City of Indio Public Arts Commission meeting for Tuesday, September 13th, 2022. And may we have roll call, please?
Commissioner Gutierrez,
Present.
Commissioner Becerra,
Present.
Commissioner Cruz Zendejas. Present. Vice Chairperson Niemeyer,
Present.
Chairperson Shinsky.
Here. Commissioner Cruz Zendejas, would you like to lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 3, public comment for items not on the agenda. Do we have any public comments?
Good evening, Mr. Chairperson. I don't believe we have any public comments at this time.
All right, thank you. Item 4, presentations by either local artists and or art organizations. Do we have anything scheduled?
Yes, we do. We have Ms. Brittany Delaney and Mr. Peter Degenero that they would like to talk to the commission about a project that named Free the Body. And they are attending the meeting via Zoom. They were supposed to attend via Zoom. So if they're present at the Zoom, we can hear their presentation.
Very good.
Are those individuals in our Zoom to provide the presentation?
Hi, this is Peter. I'm here from Brittany here. I just texted her and she was kind enough to communicate about this gathering. Thank you again for availing the time and space.
Peter, you kind of broke up. Did you say Brittany is not going to be participating?
No, Brittany was absolutely planning to participate. We spoke last night and, oh, here she is. She's here. She just signed in. Yep.
I don't see anyone.
Oh, she just came in and went, oh, there she is.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening. The floor is yours, Brittany and Peter.
Thank you so much. Well, I'll introduce myself. My name is Brittany Delaney. I am a choreographer and dancer, writer, event producer, and co-director of Ground Series Dance and Social Justice Collective. I'm based here in Los Angeles, California, and I'm really excited to be here virtually in Indio, California. I also serve as the secretary for the Arts and Planning Division of the American Planning Association. So I have a lot of excitement to be in spaces of imagination and building community. I'm excited to bring this project to the Indio Public Arts Commission because our project is called Free the Body, and it is going to take place at the Coachella Valley Arts Center in January 2023. So what is Free the Body? Free the Body is an interdisciplinary installation and research project. And it asks the question of what does it feel like to be free in your body? What are some of the relationships or sensations of that? And what does it mean for people personally, culturally, politically, socially? I'm really excited to bring this project to the Coachella Valley Arts Center. The Coachella Valley Arts Center and the Coachella Valley mean a lot to me. I worked and lived there from 2015 to 2019, and I'm really excited to bring this project back to the desert. So I have my colleague here, Peter, and I'll pass it to him and he can introduce himself and a little bit about what's coming up.
Thanks, Brittany. Hi, everyone. My name's Peter Degenero. If my signal breaks up, please do let me know. I'm broadcasting, as it were, from Waterbury to come out to your home. I'm very, very excited to meet the area, the people, the culture. I've known Brittany since she was a student at Wesleyan University. We've stayed in touch on and off, and auspiciously came together about 5 months ago, again, around human rights, women's rights, etc. I'm a composer, writer, and human rights educator. My master's research and postgraduate research is from NYU's Arts Politics program, where my focus is on human rights education and power, identity, and different violences. In this project of Free the Body, we're looking at very much, as Brittany said, what does it mean to feel free? Where do we access freedom in this world that we live in with all our responsibilities. The artistic project itself is, as Brittany said, interdisciplinary. It's an immersive art installation using multimedia, visual art, sound installation, dance, but also it's participatory in a number of ways, which we're very excited about. We've certainly opened the space, as Bill has opened the space, to celebrate Indigenous rights, at the rights of youth, which we'll be celebrating directly at a kids workshop this Saturday at the Coachella Valley Arts Center. And people have an opportunity throughout the period of the installation, but also at the Wild Woman workshop that Brittany is spearheading, to give audio testimony. Of course, it will be anonymous, but with out of respect for the participants, but it will be embedded into the sound score of the installation art piece in the Coachella Valley Arts Center. Lastly, I'll say that the art piece is meant, as art does, to communicate a shared experience and to open up an architecture of invitation for everyone to have a shared experience across their own individual experiences. We're using the praxis, if you will, the practice and theory of abolition feminism that goes all the way back to W.B. Du Bois, but is mostly championed by Angela Davis, Gina Dent, and others. And one of the amazing things that we love about it, and I'll wrap up here, is that it asks to put something down and create something that hasn't existed before, and then look at both of them together, drawing on the best of both, rather than seeing them as exclusive opposites. There's too much division in the world. There's too much not sharing and learning from one another. And this project is a direct challenge to that inertia by celebrating the invitation and participation of art forms, people, cultures, etc. I'm super excited to come out tomorrow.
And I'll just add, thank you, Pete, that in that spirit of collaboration, we've been reaching out to local organizations. I'm in touch with a group that visited your Arts Commission a couple months ago, Healing Rhythms, with Lacey. So we're planning to do something later in the fall when the master drummer comes back. I'm in touch with Danza Azteca, who will be part of our workshop in the 24th, to share their perspectives and their relationships on the desert. And I'm also in touch with Wild Women, which is the Coachella Valley Feminist Collective, as well as it's really important that for Ground Series that in addition to sharing powerful art, that we really think about resources and education. So I'm connecting with Alianza Coachella Valley to share some of their resources as well. And then to be a good neighbor and to be a good visitor, I want to be sensitive to what the Public Arts Commission has coming up for this fall and winter, and then some other kind of Indio initiatives. I know you guys have so many amazing events and festivals, so I want to make sure to amplify that and build some of our timings or workshops around what's going on there. So yeah, I'm excited to share, and thank you so much for the time.
Thank you for the presentation. We all look forward. Does anyone have any questions while we still have folks online? No? Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
All right. Item 5, action items. 5.1, the Indio Mural number 12 project.
Good evening, Mr. Chairperson and members of the Arts Commission. So tonight before you have item 5.1, which is Indio Mural number 12 project selection. We named the mural number 12 because we wanted the artist who gets picked name the artwork himself or herself. So that's why when the RFPs goes out, it's only identified by number. So the release of RFP was July 1st. The deadline was August 22. We received 12 proposals from talented artists. and all of them met the application requirements. Staff reviewed them to make sure they meet the application requirements. And then on September 3rd, staff and the ad hoc committee met, and the ad hoc committee selected narrowed down from 12 to 3 proposals or 3 artists. As you see here, the mural is supposed to be placed on the wall behind our artwork, colossal cacti. So the number one that was chosen by the ad hoc committee is the image that you see here from Zach Fleming. Number 2 image is from Jessica Macias, and number 3 is from Patrick Barwinski. The ad hoc committee chose these 3 murals or artworks based on the visual values only. They didn't know about anything about the artist, who is the artist or the name. So it was kind of blind selection to be fair to all the artists. All 3 of the artists are here, and they will present. Each have 5 minutes presentation that they will present to the commission, and commission at the end of each presentation has time to ask questions. We go first by Zach, second will be Jessica, and third will be Patrick. And I would like to invite Zach to the podium.
Great. Thank you for having me. All right. Looks like I'm ready to go. So hi, my name is Zach Fleming Boyles. I'm an artist and art educator born and raised in the Coachella Valley, and it is an honor to be here presenting my mural design to the commission. I graduated from the University of California, Berkeley in 2009 with a degree in art practice, and currently work at Create Center for the Arts in Palm Desert, teaching introductory printmaking classes and managing the organization's youth programs. Prior to that, I worked at the Palm Springs Art Museum for 8 years as manager of school programs, overseeing class field trips, youth outreach programs, and community projects. Upon learning about this project, I was instantly intrigued by the prospect of designing a mural for site number 12 because of the existing colossal cacti installation. Let's see. For the past 6 years, the cactus has been a primary source of inspiration for my art as a symbol that represents the resilience of life. The thought of being able to collaborate with the colossal cacti installation is what excited me the most about this project, as it relates closely to my existing body of work. You may notice that the design that I have proposed is somewhat a departure from the pseudo-realistic style that I currently work in, but I wanted my design to complement the geometric structure of the existing sculptural works to create a more cohesive visual experience. My mural is based on a series of paintings I started in 2011 upon returning to the desert after graduating from college. I must admit that having grown up in the desert, I took the natural beauty that surrounds the Coachella Valley for granted. But after moving back, I gained a new appreciation for the unique features found in our local landscape, with a particular fascination for the Santa Rosa Mountains and the way light and shadow dance across the surface as it changes color throughout the day. As a kid, the mountains were not so much an object of aesthetic fascination, but rather a playground where my imagination could flourish. As an only child in a single-parent household, much of my youth was spent alone scrambling up and down the boulders of the Santa Rosa foothills after school and watching the sunset over the valley from elevated outcroppings in the rocks. The word solitude often carries with it negative connotations, but in my experience, there is a certain serenity to being alone in nature that can't be found elsewhere. We don't really have a word for it in English, but in German, this feeling is called Waldsamkeit, meaning solitude of the forest. However, in the Coachella Valley, being a desert surrounded by mountains, I suppose a better term would be Bergensamkeit, or solitude of the mountains. It is, for lack of a better word, a magical feeling and one I credit towards my development as an artist. When I first learned about the mural project, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I just wasn't sure how to make it happen. So I got in my car, drove to the site, and started snapping photos of the space. I thought it was important to get a feel for the size and scale of both the wall upon which the mural is to be painted, as well as the colossal cacti installation to make sure my design didn't clash or detract from the existing work. It was also at this time that I contemplated ways to go about actually painting the installation, such as the tools and equipment I would need in order to form my budget and timeline. When I got home, I printed out one of the photos, placed a piece of tracing paper on top, and started outlining the composition in pencil. The design was digitally scanned and then overlaid onto the original photograph and color added using Photoshop. The actual mural itself would follow a similar progression. Once the surface has been cleaned and primed, I would begin by projecting the outline of the mountains onto the wall and then tracing over the lines with paint. When the outline is completed, I would then fill in the space with color based on the existing color chart. With regards to the timeline, if my design is selected, I will devote the remainder of September towards procuring the materials I would need to paint the mural. Fortunately, working for an art education center, I have access to most of the equipment I would need, with the exception of a few specialized tools. Also in September, I would start cleaning and preparing the surface for the paint. The actual painting would occur throughout October, with the bulk of the work occurring on weekends. It's hard for me to estimate the exact timeline, but once the initial design is outlined, I imagine the rest of the mural will go pretty quickly, with the goal of having everything done by the end of October. The final UV-resistant varnish and anti-graffiti protection is intended to be added the first part of November. As an art educator, I also saw this project as a teaching opportunity and created a paint-by-number system that would allow the public to participate in the mural's creation. My initial idea was to reach out to art teachers in Indio, Shadow Hills, and Amistad high schools and offer an invitation to their students to assist in painting the lower portions of the mural as a field trip experience. In the budget, I set aside a portion of the funding to cover the cost of transportation to the site if I am able to make such arrangements possible. If not, that funding would instead go towards hiring local artists to assist me in painting the mural. It would mean a lot for me personally if my design were chosen for Site 12. Indio is where I spent the first 7 years of my life and the first place I ever called home. I want to give back to the community that helped me develop into the artist I am today, and hopefully inspire others to see the mountains in a different light and pay more attention to the natural beauty we are surrounded by. Thank you for your time and consideration. I appreciate the opportunity to share my work with you, and I am happy to answer any questions you might have at this time.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Excellent. Thank you.
All right, so I would like to invite Jessica to come here and give us her presentation.
Hello, my name is Jessica Macias. I was born and raised in the Coachella Valley. I went to Cathedral City High School and graduated. I went to COD for my AA. I've been passionate about community and public arts ever since I became an art educator 3 years ago at the Palm Springs Art Museum. My goal from there was always to make it accessible for everyone and the community to be able to interact with art and be able to be a part of it in a way. I have 3 years with that in the Palm Springs Art Museum. I also have been a freelance artist for 10 years. And so my goal when I first saw this project was that I wanted to be able again to make a landmark for the community to come, to be able to feel a part of it, and to be able to do something in my community where I was born and raised. Let me see, this is a little video clip I have. Let me see if I can play that. There we go. So this is a kind of progressive shot on the Procreate where I developed the initial, let me see if I can get that. There we go. So when I was initially thinking of an idea for this mural, I did want a modern colors. And I know when we're looking at the colossal cactus artwork, it is also very modern, very new. And I wanted that to reflect with these colors as well, not necessarily having something hyper realistic in color-wise, but with that modern color here. When I start, I like to develop my color palette, and I decided to do it with the date palm. So I did the date palm just because I did want to do something modern, but I also wanted to keep something that we know and that we love and that our history is also rooted in, which is the date palm. And also how I came up with my color palette was thinking about kind of when you look at something with heat sensors, you know, you see the warmth in something, you see life. And I kind of wanted that to reflect in the date palm with the red and orange for the leaves, giving that that is something growing and living, and the dates that are growing on it as well. You see that it's starting off with a cool blue and then slowly growing into that yellow, which is also life coming through. And that's a lot of life that's rooted into this valley as well. And then this was my finished product, really highlighting Indio with the name on it and having that be something that people can interact with as well and be a landmark for our community. For my timeline, so I would start off with the wall prep and the inspection just to make sure that there's no cracks that need to be filled, kind of just really making sure that we have a smooth kind of canvas for the painting. I would go in with power washing and prepping the wall as well. I want to make sure that this paint is going to stick and last for a very, very long time. For then progressing, I would go in with the base color, the fill with that dark blue, then move on to outlines and grid. My method, I don't really like to do the square foot grid. I do the doodle method, which is making a whole bunch of little drawings to fit to scale, and then you fill it in. Going into the detail and color, and then touching up the finished piece and waiting for to dry, and finishing off with that UV varnish slash graffiti sealant. For the timeline, it would probably be near to the end of September, going into October as well, just depending on maybe like weather and what's going on in the valley at the time. I can't give an exact timeline, but I would say anywhere from a month to 2 weeks to a month to get this done. Just some experience that I have with the community arts. I did a City of Indio Public Arts Commission signal box. This was my design for that. It is located on the southwest corner of 48th and Monroe Street. In 2020, I did a public art bench project, designing and painting a bench for downtown Palm Springs, and this was located on Indian Canyon. And I've also participated with Synergy Fest, collaborating in live art and working with murals for them. This is a collaboration work with a known artist called Creepy Little Thing in the Valley. And then here is some of my general artwork. This was from a recent art show that I did at the Artistic Healing Center. The picture in the corner is of a lucha girl, and that is a past painting as well. So again, thank you so much for your time. What it means to me to be able to do this is something I think very special, just something to be able to do for my community that I've grown up in, to be able to give back, to be able to just be a part of that history in our community, I think would be really great. And if you guys have any questions, I'm all open to any questions you might have. And thank you for your time.
Questions, anyone? I have one.
Okay.
Why do you feel compelled to have the name of the city on your mural?
So when I was thinking about this, I wanted the city's name to be up in front, just because with modern technology, I feel like everybody is snapping pictures now. Everything's going forward into the future. And I want that to be kind of a landmark that people can use to also be able to show the city and show where you're at, kind of like a sign for the city of Indio. You know, you have a sign for Palm Springs of where you're at, you have a sign for Coachella and other places in the city. And that was kind of my thinking around that.
When you say sign, are you talking about a literal sign that you see at the entrance to a city?
The literal sign of an entrance to a city. And I would like to make this kind of an artistic form of like a sign and a mural for people to come to and to know where they're at and represent that.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so our last presenter is Patrick. So he'll be here.
Okay. Okay. And then to go back to this presentation. After.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Patrick Barwinski. Can you guys hear me good? Okay. My name is Patrick Barwinski. I'm a full-time artist and graphic designer from Southern California. I want to thank you guys for having me here today. It is a great honor being here, considered one of the chosen artists for such an important project. With that being said, I would like to start this presentation off with giving you a little background information about myself. As a young kid, I always had a huge passion for art. I experimented with everything and anything I can get my hands on growing up. I'm sure if you ask my parents today about my childhood, they could tell you some real horror stories. Funny thing is, they actually gave me permission one time to paint the entire garage to whatever I wanted. Maybe because they got tired of me painting on all the walls. Given the opportunity, I decided to paint my entire garage to a bright blue sky and white fluffy clouds. Little did I know, this was my happy place where I spent most of my time daydreaming about becoming a great artist. I knew this was a far-fetched dream. There was no way I was the only one with the same dream. Fast forward to the year 2008. I decided to pursue my dreams of becoming an artist and moved to Lima, Peru, where I received my higher education in art and graphic design. I spent the best 8 years of my life studying, working, and immersing myself in the rich, flavorful Peruvian culture. I later traveled through South America when I got the opportunity to work and live in Brazil for 3 years. If you love sunny weather, beaches, and beautiful people, I highly recommend visiting Rio for a good time. These life experiences have shaped me into the artist I am today, heavily influenced by the flavors of the Latino culture and deeply inspired by the great artists I've discovered along the pathway of my own personal pursuit of happiness. Such as Elliot Tupac, a Peruvian screen printing and lettering artist who pioneered chicha art, an aesthetic tradition with a rich social history. Through my years of experience working as an artist and graphic designer, I provided artistic creativity for some of the top design studios, advertising agencies, and startups around the world. My artwork covers, but not limited to, identity branding, digital illustration, and mural painting. However, I prefer to specialize in mural painting as much as possible as it feeds my artistic soul. I've always believed that any artist should have as much knowledge as possible about every type of artistic expression, and to this end, I have made it my mission to further my personal education in as many directions as I can, gaining hands-on experience whenever possible. I would like to take this time to share with you one of my most recent greatest accomplishments. Can we play the video, please? I had the pleasure of being able to paint a massive 2,500 square foot mural at the Mariposa Alley located in downtown Riverside, telling a story about a butterfly encounters on its transformation of becoming free and beautiful. This mural is titled How to Fly. Now that you have a little background information about my work, experience, and me, I would like to get to the real reason why we are here today. To paint a beautiful mural in the city of Indio, from my understanding, the idea is to create a concept that is aesthetically and technically compelling, reflecting the city's progressive values, bringing positivity and love among the community. With the understanding of the project, I would like to take you down my deep exploration dive as I do with every project I approach. Before even putting ink to paper, as a good artist should, I began to ask my friends, family, and self the most important questions about the project. What is the history of the city of Indio? What is the purpose and values of the city of Indio? What is the future of the city of Indio? Why should we paint a mural in the city of Indio? Here are a few answers and words that inspired me when asking these questions. Culture, history, agriculture, community, spiritual, arts, nature, modern, music, friendly, festival, positive, celebration, and progress. The words that meant the most to me were these three words: community, arts, and progress. As I go through my exploration process, I usually like to listen to music as it helps me free my mind from clutter and helps me focus on the creativity and meaning of the project. And every now and then a song will touch my soul, resonating with the purpose and reasoning of what I'm creating. I'd like to share with you the magical lyrics that gave me the chills and touched my soul during this process. Imagine by John Lennon. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one. With everything going on in the world and the purpose of the mural, I knew this quote was going to help fuel my inspiration on creating my newest masterpiece. With my personal research about the city of Indio, an inspirational quote, it became very clear to me as to what Indio is and why millions of people gather together every year, time after time, to celebrate and become one as a community. Indio is historical, cultural, and spiritual. A magical place surrounded in beautiful nature where you can become one in a community of diverse cultures. A community of loving people celebrating life to the fullest, hosting some of the biggest art and music festivals in the world. It only makes sense to call Indio the city of festivals. So with that being said, I dedicate this mural to those who are on the path to finding their place in this world. I want this mural to express, evoke, and capture that feeling of happiness, acceptance, unity, family, peace, and love that we all seek from time to time with everything going on in the world. A place where all of your wildest dreams can come true, a place where you can be anyone and anything you choose to be, a place you can call home. I can speak from the heart and experience when I say that every single detail about this mural proposal has been thought out, not just to look good, but to convey a meaning and message behind the purpose of the project. All the way from the colors, chosen objects, and placement of each item you see today. Without further ado, I present to you my Indio mural proposal titled Dreamers Valley. Now, since the screen size does not give the detailed work justice, I'll be showing you close-ups of the mural proposal in the next few slides. As I said before, every single detail of this mural was specifically curated for this proposal. From the beautiful bougainvillea flowers you see in the city surrounded in the majestic spiritual valley landscape representing the different pathways and journeys in life. The sun and dream capture representing the history and warmth of the welcoming community to the heart-shaped hand symbol representing diversity progress, speaking in the universal language of love that anyone can relate to no matter what language you speak or where you are from. The butterflies flying in the valley towards the sun representing liberty, beauty, change, comfort, and hope from the people. To the pink cotton candy sky mixed with feathers from the dream catcher, making sure to catch and leave no dream left behind among the wishings of the stars in the universe. I feel certain that my proven ability to manage and maintain the highest standards as an artist will be of the greatest benefit to the city of Indio. I have confidence that I can make a significant contribution to the community and the lives of those who pass by. With everything going on in the world, at the end of the day, what matters most in life is feeling loved, being happy, and putting a smile on another person's face. I seek to fulfill this desire with my mural proposal. So remember, we must always remind ourselves, nothing happens unless first we dream. So dare to dream, because if you can dream it, you can achieve it. Thanks for viewing. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have at this moment. I also have a couple of printouts that I'd like to leave with each one of you.
Thank you. Questions?
Okay.
Patrick, where are you from?
Riverside.
Currently?
Yes. Riverside, but my parents are from Peru, so that's how I got the opportunity to study over there and live over there.
Lucky you.
It's a beautiful place. Have you ever been there before?
Not yet.
Oh, you should definitely go to Peru. And if you go to Peru, if you like fish, try ceviche. If you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the best ceviche in the world. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Any questions or not?
Thank you.
I
Thank
guess
you.
not.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, everybody. So commission is your time to shine now.
I think it would be most appropriate if the candidates leave the room.
Sure.
You can come back when we're done.
We can leave our stuff here, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, we have 3 proposals. Should we go one by one, or does anyone have a particular one that you think outshines the other 2?
Well, being on the ad hoc, I can let you guys know up front which ones I chose in order. And I don't know if that would help to kind of like see where I stand as far as how that was. So for me, number 1, what stood out was Zach's with the mountain. Number 2 was Patrick's. And then number 3 was Jessica's.
Were you on that ad hoc committee, EJ?
No.
It was Noe?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Do you have anything to add to that, Noe?
Yeah, this is probably the toughest decision so far with my time on the commission, having so many entries, so many great works. And we Cece and I, and we had a long discussion about this. And we were pretty similar in how we approach things. And my 3 choices were similar to hers. But we also kind of had an open-ended option because the thought of how great these pieces are, that they might be served better in other areas as well. But my first choice was the first presentation tonight. So, but we also want to keep in contact with the other artists, and maybe this is not the location that best serves those pieces, but it was really difficult for me, at least. But definitely, the first presentation is my choice.
Okay. Thank you. Vanessa?
Yeah, this is tough. I do hear you on the opportunity to probably see these murals in another space, if it's not like in our regular mural program, but maybe the mini murals program that we talked about as well. I honestly really like the dates piece, Jessica's piece. I feel like that piece could really pop on that wall. Just seeing how textured it is, I think the simplicity of it will really you can really make it out on that kind of a wall. And I really also like the mountain piece too, just being so connected to the mountains around here as well. So that's really hard. And the Coachella Valley Love piece, or the Indio Love piece at the end too, the last presentation, I appreciate that piece as well. To me, it seems a little bit detailed for that texture too. So that's why I kind of can see that elsewhere and not on that particular wall. But yeah, those are my thoughts right now on all of our presentations.
EJ?
I think I'm in agreement with number 1 being my first choice, especially with that wall and that particular context. I've seen the butterfly mural. I really like it. And I wish he had put a little more of that kind of detail and feel with his line work into his proposal when we're talking about Patrick's piece.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as my overall pick, it would be the first one, Zach's piece.
All right. Gee. What can I say? They're all competent. I think Zach's piece is the geometric qualities to Zach's piece are too similar from my eye to the cactus. I think they meld into each other just too much. Jessica's piece, I like the dates, I like the fronds. I do not like the name of Indio taking command of the wall. I mean, it's an advertisement, it's no longer a mural. And unfortunately, we do have to deal with the surface of the wall that we're dealing with, but I really think that Patrick's piece, it has a mystical quality to it, and it has a quality that makes you think, which the others two did not for me. And I think that's very important, especially where people are going to be gathering in the downtown. If the surface of the wall is going to preclude Patrick's piece from happening, I don't think it should. I think something should be done about that, because I think it was a very strong, imaginative, and visually challenging piece. So those are my thoughts on them all. So I guess what we need is if someone would like to make a motion to choose one of these three.
I'll make a motion to choose one of these three project selections for mural number 12.
Which one?
Yeah, number 1, or not? Is that how? No, Zach.
Zach Fleming Boyles?
Yes.
Is that the piece?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'll second.
All right. Can we vote?
Commissioner Gutierrez,
Number 1,
Commissioner Becerra,
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz Zendejas,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Niemeyer,
Yes.
Chairperson Shinsky.
No.
Motion carried.
And there's no other, are there any other motions for any of the other two? I don't.
I have a question. Can we add, I don't know, if like a condition or something to the motion to see how we can fit their pieces into the mural program?
I think that staff and I can encourage them to apply because we have another RFP coming out, and I think we will strongly encourage them to resubmit these proposals. Yeah, because they would work well.
We have an RFP out for the bridge right now, I believe, and a second bridge. Yeah.
Yes, we have a RFP for the small bridge on Fred Waring. The other RFP has been closed, but again, we're going to have a work plan for next year, which will include several murals. So we also still have our small mural program, so that could also be used. So definitely staff and the chair, currently Mr. Shinsky, and in the future, whoever is the chair, we will work to make sure that the artists they can resubmit, and also they're on my list to receive any mural or painting or digital RFPs that we have in the future.
I think something we really need to think about and talk about next meeting is the Jackson Street Bridge mural project. As huge as that is, I don't think it's appropriate that one artist do the entire thing. The two remaining murals from today's submissions would be perfect for that location. And because there's how many areas do we have to paint on that?
I believe we have 12 columns, 10 of them are large size, 2 of them are round cylinder size, and 3 walls.
And 3 walls. I think if we consider and if we can agree and kind of reopen the Jackson Street Bridge RFP to incorporate additional artists, I think that everyone will be made happy because we know we're going to get good work. I mean, so.
So just to add on that, the RFP has been closed and we have, I believe, 5 submittals. So it will come before the ad hoc committee on the 26th. We're supposed to meet with the ad hoc committee. So if the ad hoc committee selects or narrows down to 1, 2, or 3, it comes back before the commission, and commission at next meeting can
reopen the RFP.
Correct,
Yeah.
exactly. But we still have to go through the process to select these 5.
I understand.
No, I know.
As much as I don't want to, I understand.
No, exactly. You know about it already, but I just wanted to say it for the record.
Thank you. All right. Well, I guess we have made our choice.
Yep. I have another question really quickly.
Sure.
For the first proposal, this first proposal that we're making a motion on we are including the education aspect in it, right? There's no issue with also including youth to participate.
I think he's going to have to double check with city attorney because that's something we ran into with the other projects.
So we need to check with the city attorney. We have a new legal team now, so we need to check with them to see how that can be incorporated into. So he needs to also give us some detailed proposal as how that works so we can run it by the city legal team. Yes, you're absolutely correct.
Okay, so we wouldn't know until that goes through.
Right.
I think he did say he talked to arts organizations. There's a chance that he could have adult participation. He can have other people working with him. Definitely. It would be whether or not he could have young people.
And then the other thing is the same way as the mural that we wanted to do for the park on the basketball court, all the liabilities were on them. So that's the other way, but I can't be 100% sure till we see the advice from the city's legal team.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Vanessa.
Thank you.
All right. Well, shall we invite our artists back in and then get on with the rest of our meeting after we make our announcement?
So, Mr. Chairperson, would you like to let the artists know who was selected and what is our plan for the others?
Our plan for the boy, do we have plans for you? No, before I name who was received the most votes, I just want to say for those 2 that were not selected, we want your work in the city of Indio. We have other murals coming up, so please do not go away. Stick with us, correspond with us, resubmit, because we liked what we saw across the board. But unfortunately, with all things, there's only one person that gets the project, and that individual is Zach Fleming Boyle. But Jessica and Patrick, don't be disappointed. We will find work for you.
If I may, we have also an RFP included in this in tonight's meeting, which as soon as it gets approved and finalized, I send it to all of you, and please reapply.
And you can reapply with the same projects. With a few tweaks that you can hear from me later. All right. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can stay if you want.
You're free to stay.
You don't have to stay if you don't want. Then I'm going to stay. All right, item 5, we're doing action items now, so 5.2 teen center traffic signal box.
So on the traffic signal box, I would like to add the chairperson. This, when the agenda went out, we only anticipated to see the images from teen center members. But since we took the RFP and opened it to all ages, ad hoc committee and staff have met last Sunday and they chose additional 3 images. So I would like to ask the chair to add it to the agenda. I believe to do so, the commission needs to vote to add that to the agenda so we can discuss it. So we can discuss tonight 5 images.
May I have a motion to add this item to the agenda, please?
I'll move to do so.
May I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
All right, thank you. Vanessa Becerra, seconded the motion. Roll call.
Commissioner Gutierrez,
Yes.
Commissioner Becerra,
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz and Dejas,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Niemeyer,
Yes.
Chairperson Shinsky.
Yes. All right.
All right, so we had an RFP go out for the city's traffic signal box beautification program only for teen centers. It was from April to June, and we received several images. And the ad hoc committee selected 2, which I will show it to you. Then we tweaked our RFP, opened it to all ages, and also opened it to everybody in the galaxy. So there is no limitation on, being the Coachella Valley. So everybody can now participate. So these 2 are the ones that was selected by the ad hoc committee from the teen center artwork that they submitted to us. And then this is for the open RFP to all ages. This is number 1, which is kind of abstract. It could be repeated on the box, so it will cover all 4 sites. This one is glass work that will, again, transfer to the traffic signal box. We print them, the city will pay for the printing and wrapping. And then this one is colorful roses. So these are the 5 images that have been selected. The RFP is still open until filled, so anybody and everybody can apply for. We provide a stipend to the artist for $750. And the only caveat is it needs to be original art. It needs to be high resolution, so it could be printed there. So with that, I'll be happy if you have any questions for me. Otherwise, these are 5 images that they're in front of you to be selected. We still can wrap up between 20 to 30 additional boxes in addition to our 27 previously approved.
Would you go back to image 1?
Did you mean this one?
Yeah. Yes. Does anyone have any inclination what 504 means?
It's the area code for Honduras.
Yes. The international area code or phone.
I'm asking because when I used to teach at juvenile hall, numbers had very different meanings than area codes.
This piece is inspired by Honduras. So everything that you see there, either a place or a food or something that is from there.
All right. Very good. Then we have 5 images. Do we want to vote image by image, or would we like to make a motion to accept all 5? I suggest that we make a motion to accept all 5, if that's indeed what we want to do.
If there's no more discussion, I'll move that we approve all 5 images.
You have a second?
I'll second.
All right.
Commissioner Gutierrez,
Yes.
Commissioner Becerra,
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz and Dejas,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Niemeyer,
Yes.
Chairperson Shinsky.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the Commission and Ad hoc Committee.
While we're on this item, and we talked about this, we have an online submission form through Airtable. Does that automatically contact you, or is that something that has to get logged into?
So I was not aware that that's online.
Mhm.
And then I was notified by the previous person that was getting automatic notification that we received one submittal.
Okay.
So since then, which was Monday, I contacted IT. Now, if anybody submits that through that portal, I receive a notification. When I went back, it seems like we have received a proposal from 3 different artists. So then we will take a look at it as well in close future. But
Okay.
now that problem has been resolved.
Okay, I was hoping that we didn't have like 100 missed emails with submissions, and we're going online and we're using the form.
No, it's just 3. The thing is, for some reason, I wasn't aware that's there, and some things happen when staff leave without orientation.
But now they go directly to you. If anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, if you go to the city's website, you can apply for the traffic signal box with the digital submission, fill out the form and upload your artwork. And it was going to an unreadable email address, essentially.
nice.
So now we know. Thankfully, there was only 3.
It actually would go to a person which is still at the city. So we received, so it wasn't missing. It was going there. So that person notified me and we already fixed that problem. So whatever comes through, I'll receive a warning.
Do we have any other submissions that are done this way online, or is it just the traffic signal box?
That's just the traffic signal box, because that's the only project that was Airtable was used for it.
It's an ongoing RFP. So. All right. Item 5.3, Fred Waring Bridge request for proposal. This would be Indio Mural 14.
Correct. This will be Indio Mural 14, because the 13 is the Jackson Bridge, which will come before you next meeting. So as you know, on April 6, 2022, the City Council approved a yearly work plan for the Arts Commission, which the Arts Commission already approved that event before the City Council. They approved the projects and also they appropriated the money. This is one of the projects that was approved via that work plan. And it's a mural project for the Fred Waring Bridge. The bridge connects to the future CV link. So the CV link route would have a connection there that people can come out from the route into the city streets or into the city sidewalk. So this RFP again seeks proposal from artists. The project budget is capped not to exceed $30,000. The RFP will be released in 2 days, September 15, 2022. The deadline is October 24, 2022 by 5 p.m. The ad hoc committee is supposed to meet on October 24, 2020. So hopefully we can meet whoever become the ad hoc committee, and the work completion is supposed to be by the end of February 2023. So this is the bridge. So there's no need for artists to rent any equipment. The wall height is 3 feet by about 600 feet long. And also there are railing on top that it needs to be incorporated into the mural. Part of the sidewalks as well could be incorporated into the mural based on the artist's choice. It will be the theme for this Mural is active transportation because it's close to the, as I said, it links to the CV link or connects to the CV link. So that's the RFP before you. If you have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, the recommendation is to accept the RFP and also to appoint an ad hoc committee, which will be in accordance to the City Council approval of the work plan.
When we say active transportation, that will be up to the artist to interpret, will it not?
Correct. In the RFP, there are some links regarding the CV link as well, and there are explanation of what is active transportation. So mostly is you using a different type of transportation that a motor car or motor vehicle which uses fossil fuel. So it could be bike, it could be walking, it could be jogging, it could be skateboard, it could be anything, or scooter, non-motor, fossil fuel scooters. So all those, and it is open to their translation as well. We didn't want to really put artists in the corner and say that is it. So place for imagination.
It's got to be trucks.
Exactly. So basically, no trucks or anything. We don't want to see that. But even maybe somebody comes with the evolution. So
yeah, okay.
I have quite a few questions actually. Where does the CV link route tie into this location? Is it actually going underneath the bridge?
So it goes underneath and then comes up on the north side. Mm-hmm. So from the north side, it could be people can continue on the route or come into the city's street or sidewalk. So, oops. Sorry. So on that top image, on the corner, right corner, that's the area that it comes up.
Okay, so someone traveling on CV Link is going to be more or less at grade and then drop below the bridge and then pop out the other side.
Correct.
Okay, is the intention to have it just these 3-foot sections? I know you did talk about incorporating the sidewalk. I'll have a second question about that. Is it just the inside of the concrete barricade, or is there a plan, or is there a suggestion or discussion about doing the outside of the bridge as viewed from the link itself?
No, it's just the inside of the bridge.
Okay. I had a concern about if you talk about incorporating paint over sidewalk, what that does for the city's ADA access for slip and fall, that sort of thing.
So we will. I have talked to the city engineer that no issues such as that was brought up, but I can ask again to see what type of paint they want us to use to make it not slippery. So that's something that I can ask. And if they say no, so we can just limit it to the walls of the bridge.
I worry about foot traffic and staining and dragging paint with, someone were to come by on, say, a skateboard and hit a rock or anything like that. And then as far as the actual execution of the work, would the city be putting up, would they be closing traffic lanes or putting up a barricade? I know we have that issue when we work on a roadside, that traffic will have to be closed down. They'll have to be either the city or Thompson Barricade or whoever does a block,
Great question. That was one of my items during the staff items, but I would like to suggest to the commission that the staff take care of the traffic control plan, hire whoever's supposed to drop it off, secure it, and also the encroachment permit. And the money for that will come out of the art fund for 2 reasons. Peace of mind, because we can, work with our traffic engineer. We can get the Thompson Barricade or whoever can do it, bring it, install it, remove it. And the second reason, our budgets are very limited. So that will be some encouragement for the artists as well. So they don't have to be worried about that. They just worry about their art piece and their equipment that they need to get to do that. So that was my suggestion to go forward. If should the commission agrees, we can include that in our RFPs as a section that the city will take care of traffic control and also the encroachment permit.
Would the artist be precluded from doing the outside of the wall? Not
The outside, you mean facing the wash?
Yeah.
Yes, that was not part of the RFP and previous discussions with the commission. So it's just the inside.
And how do CV Link participants know that it's there?
So the CV Link also has art pieces, and also they have some signage that says you can get out of here. So this is basically, we are not trying to say this supposed to provide awareness to the CV Link user, but it's supposed to provide awareness for the people who are using the street and the bridge. There's something here that points you to use the CV Link.
Okay.
The other way around. But again, if the commission would like to add that on the back, then it changes. We need to go back and amend the RFP because now it changes, because that bridge, I don't know how tall it is and what kind of equipment needs to be used to get on the top and paint it, because nobody can paint it upside down. So it will be triple the price, which was not anticipated. But again, if the commission chooses to do that, the staff will follow your direction.
No, I just had questions about where exactly this would be applied. So it sounds like it's the inside.
Okay. Very good. Any other comments or questions? May we have a motion to accept the RFP as is?
A motion to accept the RFP as it is.
I'll
Yeah.
second.
All right.
Commissioner Gutierrez, Commissioner Becerra,
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz Zendejas,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Niemeyer,
Yes.
Chairperson Shinsky.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Now we need an ad hoc committee for this. I'm going to take one of the spots. Who else would like to join me?
I'll join you.
All right. So ad hoc committee will be Commissioner Cruz Zendejas and Commissioner Shinsky.
So is there a motion to approve
Oh,
that?
excuse me. We need a motion. I'll make a motion that we accept the ad hoc committee. May I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Thank you. She's furiously taking notes, the poor thing.
And I'm not paying attention to that at all. So I apologize.
It's okay. Commissioner Gutierrez,
Yes.
Commissioner Becerra,
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz Zendejas,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Niemeyer,
Yes.
Chairperson Shinsky.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. All right. Section 6, project updates. 6.1.
So this is the Arena Mural project that is outside of city, but we asked the chairperson and vice chair to review the 4 artists that they were part of the selection. And then it was sent to the curator. And then what was chosen is Gustavo Ramirez. And the theme of that mural was basically approved by the council, and is supposed to be festivals: Coachella Festival, Stagecoach, Tamale Festival, Barbecue Festival, and also Southwest Art Festival. So all those elements will be on that mural, which is supposed to be 20 by 10, something like that, which includes all 9 desert cities. So that's just an update for you to know that this is what's will go on inside that arena.
And please, for clarification, who is paying for this?
I believe the curator asked for $10,000 and it's going to be paid by not art fund. So the city will find another source of funding to pay for it.
Good. Because it is not within the city limits of Indio.
That's correct. You're absolutely correct, sir.
Thank you so much. All right. 6.2, mural restoration program update.
I'm sorry. So these are the sample artwork from the artist. So I'm sorry. So these are the sample artwork from the artist. So he is, well talented and can do that and perform that mural easily. Sorry about that. So item number 6.2 is our mural restoration program. So now we have 3 murals to take care of. Indio mural, which is Old Indio, which is right here north of Coachella Valley Art Center. That has been painted in 2014 by Bijan Masum Panah. And it's peeling, and it looks like the paint is detaching from the wall. So we asked the artist to visit us and see the mural and give us a cost estimate how to restore it or how much it will take to restore it. So it will be $6,000 to do so. Since our last repair, the Native American mural was $2,500, including everything. So we also seeking estimate from a conservator to see which one is more cost effective. And then we need to talk to our legal to see how can we approach this project because the first right of refusal needs to be given to the main artist. So we bring that back to you when the staff has more information. The history of transportation and Anna's Bakery by Clark Travel Center. Both of them were painted in 1997 by Dwayne Flatmill. It's in a bad shape. Repair cannot be done. Staff has emailed artist regarding his approval to remove, but we haven't been able to get his reply back. Last staff has talked to the artist. He's supposed to be in Mexico for 3 or 4 months on a project. So that may be the reason that we were not able to communicate. These are shows of what's going on with the old Indio mural. There are some type of painting that it seems like somebody painted over or splashed something over the people. There are some peeling, and the peeling, if you pull it, it comes off. It doesn't stop, so it looks like it's detaching. This is Anna's Bakery. There's graffiti on it. It's peeling. And there's some areas that it's really in a bad shape. So again, the more information staff will bring back to you for your determination. Because none of them were in the work plan, we need to go back to the city council for their approval and appropriation of funding to do the work. Any questions for me?
No. 6.3, Coachella Artwork.
So staff brought that before you, maybe last meeting or the meeting before. So these art pieces still are available. I believe the dogs may go in a park, but the other 3 pieces are available. So staff would like to know what commission would like to do with them. Is there any condition or restriction that you would like to add if we get any of these pieces? So that way I can report to my boss and bosses, and then we can see what we can do. Previously, we had received the other dog metal work, which is on Horth Park. We have received Cerebral K, which is on Dr. Carrion Park, and we have received Colossal Cacti, which is right here in downtown. All of them are long-term loans, and we paid some type of money. It was stipend or transportation fee and preparation fee, installation fee, and some type of artist stipend as well. At least I know to the artists of one of the pieces. So again, I'd like to hear from the commission, if we get them, under what kind of conditions or restrictions you would like to get them, if we should get them. Thank you.
Commissioners, anyone have any conditions, suggestions, comments?
I'm most concerned with materials. I know at least one of these is made out of plywood. I think 2 have plywood on them. And I know we've had some issues with Cerebral with some of the plywood panels coming off with fasteners. So I'd want to make sure that they'd make the trip and that they would not fall apart or weather. And beyond that, my only other thing is scalability, if they're able to be climbed.
That was my concern.
I know that it was made large enough in scale that it wouldn't be easily climbed, but it is still climbable, but as are bridges, power lines, towers, everything, that sort of thing. So that would be my only main concern about that one piece, bottom left especially.
Well, besides climbability, which is a major issue, and materials, which is a major issue, especially in the desert, I know that we're going to be spending a lot of money repairing Cerebral K every year because it's plywood. I just don't think that we should be spending more public art fund money on former Coachella Fest projects. I don't understand how anyone could give one of the most financially successful corporations in this valley public art fund money in order to keep them happy. It's unethical, it's immoral, and by doing so, we are taking money away from local artists and their opportunity or potential opportunities to do projects in the city of Indio. I mean, everyone knows the Golden Voice has a very big say in this town, but there's no reason why public art money should be given to Golden Voice to keep them happy. I mean, I was in another city last week and was asked by a city council person there, well, when's Indio changing its name to Golden Voice? That's how much power that group of people have. I don't like it. And I don't think that we should be cheating artists, local artists, because Golden Voice wants other pieces purchased by the city of Indio. If the city of Indio City Council wants these pieces, let them come up with money from other sources. But public art fund money should not be used for this. I don't like the idea of cheating local artists out of opportunity and potential income.
So just to clarify, one of the artists are local artists. And then the other thing is, let's say for the sake of conversation, we get 1 or 2 pieces to be donated to us. Is that something that the commission would like to see, besides that one of them are also local artists?
If they want to donate and make sure that annual maintenance is taken care of, fine. But I don't think another penny from the Public Art Fund should be spent on anything from the Coachella event.
Okay, I report that back to my boss and bosses. And then would you like me to bring this back with additional information on the installation fees, things like that to the commission? Because I believe the council would like to see these pieces because they become somehow iconic during that year of the festival. So it's kind of like fun to have them display in the city.
They're not iconic.
They become iconic.
No, they don't. They're
So,
made to be temporary pieces for a month-long festival.
That's
Nothing
true.
that is temporary ever becomes iconic.
That's true. That's supposed to be a temporary piece, but they build it in a way that it's longer than a month. But not here, not there. Just want to make sure if the commission and the chair would like me to bring back with more information for your reconsideration or consideration as far as which pieces are available, what material they are, how big they are, climbability, and all those things back to the commission.
If the other commissioners want you to do that, fine. As far as I'm concerned, I don't want to ever hear another thing about this type of project.
If I may add something, I think it's on us as a commission to decide whether this is an appropriate and worthwhile project as advisors to city council. That's what our position is here. And so positive or negative, we definitely ought to share our opinions with council. And I think that's what you've done. And if anyone else has similar views or to the contrary, we need to make that known as opposed to just rubber stamping, placing Golden Voices pieces here. I think we do have an opportunity with them to bring outside artists, international artists, to bring pieces of some sort of renown and status, but I do also see that it is keeping us basically serving as a maintenance department, which I do understand and agree with you on that. If we're taking a piece and basically spending to do upkeep, again, it's for us to say whether or not we feel that's appropriate and to share that with council.
I would feel differently if this commission had any opportunity to have say in who was chosen to be given commissions for the Coachella Fest. We're not. You know, and the artists that do pieces for Coachella are paid for their work, paid for those pieces. By us giving them a stipend, another stipend, it's double dipping on their part. You know, they've already gotten their money. Why should we pay them again? Without it having any initial say at all.
Sure, sir. I clearly heard your opinion, and as I said, I report back, and then so we can discuss it.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Item 6.4, this is the Rcoe mural project.
So I sent a couple of emails on June 20th and September 8th to them to remind them about the September 13 meeting that we have, that they're supposed to provide us with a design and a timeline. So today I was informed that they're not going forward due to the funding availability for this project at their end. So our staff reply was, when the fund is available and you would like to do this collaboration, let us know. And also, if there is a valid project with the clear goals and timelines, you always can come before the Arts Commission and then see if there is funds available, but under those three caveats. So for now, we are not going forward on this project with that group.
So essentially, the project is dead, and the money that was appropriated from this commission, I think it's total $4,000.
It was $2,000. It was $4,000 exactly.
Yeah. So that's $4,000 that will go back into the fund that we have ability to use for other projects.
Correct.
Very good. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Item 7, staff items.
So staff items already brought up to you at the previous item. So if you guys, I agree that, so we can add that to the RFPs, including the RFP for tonight. I got creative, put my contact information up there. So people who are at home or on Facebook, they see us, they can always contact me as a staff for the public art program of the city. And also if there's any communication they would like to do with the commission, I can be the messenger. So that's there too. Again, traffic control plan and also encroachment permit, if we can take care of it and pay for it with the art fund, which we can, because the art fund can prep the site or be used for things that are relevant to the art piece. For example, like installing a concrete pad or renting cranes, and again, traffic control or encroachment permit. And they usually in something as big as that project, which requires one lane to be closed when there's working on each side, probably will cost us up to $2,000. So that includes the company that does the traffic control for us to deliver all the pieces and remove them, which could include cones, barricades, and then digital imaging boards and things like that. So, which staff cannot do that on their own, and maybe the artists also won't be able to do that on their own, and that will be a help, as I said, to the artists.
Very good.
And I think when the ad hoc does meet to discuss that RFP specifically, one of the things that has to be developed is a schedule with the artists. Because we've had artists that come and knock out a mural, great. We've also had artists that have struggled to get anything done within months, and you can't leave the road closed for months. That needs to be part of the discussion with your artist.
Yeah, and that will be in the contract with the artist. So everything needs to be in place, including the traffic control, insurance, and everything else before they start.
This is a true time is of the essence project. Yeah. Commissioner comments? Anyone? Any news, updates? Not yet.
I do have
What?
one. For the month of October, on October 8th, actually, will be Eastern Coachella Valley Pride in the city of Coachella. So it'll be from, I believe, 4 to 8 p.m. And it'll be behind the Coachella Library within that garden gazebo area. So if y'all want to put that on your calendar, there'll be music and art and community. So hope to see some folks out there.
Very good. Thank you. No other happenings? No? All right. Well, then at 6:59 p.m., I will adjourn this meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.